Welcome to the Doctor's Mentor Show. If you believe that medicine is an industry and not a profession, if you enjoy submitting complex reimbursement claims, or you would do another residency just for fun, be advised, you're about to be offended. You should probably leave now.
All this talk about mentoring doctors is ridiculous. I thought doctors learned to do everything better than everyone else the first year of medical school. At least that's the way they act.
If you love assisting patients with vitality breakthroughs, if the right to practice medicine without interference is important, and you want expert tips for practice freedom and profits to support your epic life, welcome aboard and prepare to be blown away. The Doctor's Mentor Show starts now. Here's your host, Dr. Lori Barr.
To some practicing physicians, attendance at a live medical meeting is only about the continuing medical education credits. To others, it's all about camaraderie. What do you do before, during, and after you attend a medical meeting to maximize the experience? Would it be all right with you if I share a few tips I've learned from attending general and specialty medical meetings for the past 30 years?
Today's topic:
influence. I am super excited, if that's a surprise to you, influence that is, and overjoyed that you'll be able to learn more, have more fun, and increase your professional influence at the next medical meeting you attend. In this episode, you'll learn how to choose a live medical meeting that serves you and or your practice right now, and how to prepare in advance for getting the most out of attendance. When is a great time to start your planning before the meeting? Guess. No, not the morning before or the month before. Actually, the best time to plan how you'll maximize a medical meeting is a year before you plan to attend. This is an optimal time to take a look at who's serving on what committees for your professional organizations and to identify the expertise you and your practice partners could bring to the table if you volunteered your service. Now, here's the tricky part. Before you start thinking about a live medical meeting as a place to increase your personal and practice influence, you've got to take some time to figure out how you're going to measure your influence prior to the event, and also at the event or after the event. This can be really fun. It might involve taking a look at the number of times your practice or names of individuals from your practice appear in the program. It might be how many places people who are at the meeting can capture the name of your practice and logo, or individuals from your practice and tweet them to Twitter followers or Facebook fans. It might be a quota of influencers that each person attending the meeting is encouraged to meet, and a spotting list, almost like a birder would use. This is also the time to check in with your practice partners and managers and lay the foundation so that you select the best meeting to fit your current practice climate. The kinds of things you want to think about on an organizational level are: what challenges or growth opportunities are we facing right now, and how would this meeting shift our perspective? What mistakes have we experienced that might benefit others in our profession if we share our experiences? Have we created any products that we could sell to our colleagues, or that we could partner with a manufacturer and let them sell to our colleagues? What research have we been conducting that is ripe for scientific review, live presentation, and eventual publication? How can our group maximally be benefited by strategy selection of who goes when to what meeting during the coming year? For example, is there a major equipment purchase on the horizon? What vendors will be at the meeting, and what can we learn from having our key leaders, the section head, if it's imaging equipment, if we were buying a new CT machine, we'd send section heads from neuro and body imaging to make sure that they get to understand the benefits of each vendor's machine before our purchase is made. And we'd also send in our key negotiators, our president and our CEO, to meet those people who make the decisions at the table as far as who gets to cut the deal and how can we get the best deal possible. We also send our technical leaders. Now that you have an idea about what your current level of influence is and what you desire to accomplish regarding personal and practice influence by live attendance at a meeting, there's a vast array of meetings you can choose to attend. One easy way to narrow it down first is simply by deciding on multi-specialty versus single-specialty meetings. Both are important, and if you want to have a voice in shaping the future of our medical profession, membership and volunteer service in both types of organizations at local, state, national, and international levels is essential. So go back to your first answer and decide which type of meeting would best assist with the current growth opportunities in your practice. Perhaps it's a statewide meeting so that like-minded practice owners could communicate more cohesively with the state board. Maybe it's a technical skills meeting to add a new service to your practice. It might be a national meeting to assure that your reimbursement needs are being represented accurately on a federal level. Next, look at the meeting agendas and attendance numbers and identify influence opportunities. Under what circumstances would your group or a person from your group be able to get the attention of the largest percentage of attendees? Who are the practice leaders from your group who are most likely to maximize any service, speaking, or exhibit opportunities? How can they get the attention of those who control the event schedule over the next year? Select 3 or 4 meetings that will serve your practice best for the coming fiscal year and identify who will go to each meeting and how you'll cover care delivery for your patients during these times. Remember, meetings are a time to connect with who you know and who you want to know, both individually and as a group. So what strategic moves can your group and or you make right now to be recognized on a state, national, or international level at the meeting? Next, do some reconnaissance so you understand the event planning cycle for the meeting. The dateline. When is the call and the deadline for abstracts, for special course instructors, for educational exhibits, and for commercial exhibits? When is the registration deadline? When can you select courses you wish to attend if multiple tracks are available? Can our practice minimize costs by getting creative about group travel or lodgings? For example, the University of Iowa is only about 4 hours away from Chicago, the city where the Radiological Society of North America has held its annual meeting for the last 30 years. Instead of the radiology department members flying to Chicago, the department charters a bus and sends half of the department for the first half of the week-long meeting and the other half for the second half of the meeting. Think about the aggregate savings of doing this travel plan over 30 years. This strategy is likely cost and time effective if you live and practice within a 6-hour drive to the meeting location. On a personal level, similar questions are appropriate to ask, and don't forget, even taking a qualifying exam is participation at a live medical meeting. So ask yourself, who are the examiners likely to be there, and what do I want them to remember about me for the rest of my career? What cases have I seen this year that are worth reporting so my colleagues recognize them too when they see them in their practices? What research have I completed that I'm ready to present? What steps have to happen and when for me to be ready to submit this material by the deadlines? What researchers, collaborators, or colleagues are going to be at this meeting with whom I would like to collaborate? Is it time for me to consider a new position, and will anyone from that organization be present that I can meet or interview? Which of my professional friends are going to the meeting with whom I would like to catch up? Who else or what else is nearby that it would be mutually beneficial or just pure fun to visit? Am I going to need special travel documents like a passport or visa for this trip? When does my passport expire? When I meet new people, how am I going to follow up with them to build the relationship? Once you have answers to these questions, design a timeline with the endpoint being the dates of the actual meeting and mark the date of each deadline. The purpose of the timeline is to assure that all deadlines are met or that key contacts are approached in a timely fashion. Then divide the year into quarters and work backwards along the timeline, marking the key action steps and internal deadlines desirable to support your desired outcomes. The question to keep top of mind is, who do you and your practice partners need to become to maximize the influence opportunities available at this meeting? As each quarter passes, recheck the timeline and your desired outcomes and make any adjustments that serve you and your practice even better from your new vantage point. Don't forget to factor in all aspects of attendance like travel plans. If you plan your own travel, consider using a site like airfarewatchdog.com to send you alerts when an airfare is low to your destination city. Join any frequent flyer or accommodation programs where the points may benefit you during your stay or afterward. Make sure you have appropriate coverage to take care of your home and family and your practice in your absence. The month before the meeting, recheck the meeting agenda and timeline. Identify ancillary opportunities to leverage the meeting experience like additional speaking engagements. Maybe you're a visiting professor at a local university or school of medicine. Media appearances and other collateral engagements you desire. Check and recheck any materials you're creating and practice your delivery or pitch if you are interviewing at the meeting. Do you have business cards, books, or other swag you want to give to those you meet? How will these materials travel to the meeting? How do you know you'll have enough? The week before the meeting, reconfirm your engagements and your travel arrangements. Check the weather and begin your packing list. Remember, it's hard to overcome the impact of a first impression, so consider if the clothing you select for your travels are congruent with who you want to show up as at the meeting. Ideally, you want to be your true, authentic self, dressed in a fashion that amplifies your personal taste and is appropriate to the occasion. Are you dressed like a person of influence, the face of your personal and your organizational brand? Are your looks congruent with your message? For gentlemen, include either a suit or sport coat and at least one tie and crisp dress shirts with collar stays. Polish your shoes. Ladies, include at least one cocktail dress or formal. Take shoes with varying heel heights. Make sure you have appropriate leg wear and an extra pair in case of unexpected runs. Now you're ready for the excitement of travel to the meeting. I use this time to connect with even more colleagues who might be going too. I look for people on the airplane or in the airport who look like doctors and ask them if they're going to the meeting. Your attitude, meaning your thoughts, feelings, and actions, your attitude is what determines your ability to see possibility and create the influence you desire out of this live meeting experience that you're exchanging a portion of your life to attend. So energize yourself and smile. If you have personal or practice strategies that complement what you've heard on today's show and you'd like to share them with the Doctor's Mentor community, go to www.thedoctorsmentor.com and click on the teal green Send Voicemail side tab to the right. Just leave me a message with your meeting strategy and we'll get the word out.
Your next step.
Determine which medical meeting can enhance your personal or practice influence and how you'll measure that influence. Then start the cycle we just discussed and those steps in the next show. If you'd like 5 additional strategies about how to leverage your participation in professional organizations and live medical meetings, just click on the Yes, I Want More hyperlink for this show at thedoctorsmentor.com and I'll send you those right away.
There's more to explore at thedoctorsmentor.com.
Are you stopping at a hospital? Hello? Don't you know that hospitals are one of the sickest places on the planet? Don't touch anything in there and get out as fast as you can.